We're coming to you live from our bedroom today, just to mix it up, do something a little spicy. It's probably not going to be a spicy video, though.
You certainly set expectations there.
I'm telling them
Here
now.
we are.
It may not be spicy.
No. It won't be. If it was, it wouldn't be for free. It would not be free content. Sex work is work.
It's so true. This is a sex work positive channel.
Yeah.
On that note, we're going to be answering a question today. Not to do with any of that. I don't think so. No.
Maybe. No.
It's not.
Okay.
We've already picked it.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we went through and just we were trying to decide which would be a good question to answer. And this is
a big one.
A big question.
A big question.
So I'm going to read it. Do you mind?
Yeah. I don't mind.
Okay. This question is from Xandra, and it says, "Hello, ladies. First of all, thank you for some great content. Second, my question deals with partner advice. My partner of 2 years is very sweet and communicative. In all aspects, they are fantastic, but they do have a bit of an anger problem, and they admit that it is a problem. It's never been directed my way, but it's been taken out on objects in our home, and it does affect me very significantly because I grew up in a home where that was an issue. They admit that they need help, but will not take any steps to get any. I love them, but I never expected to encounter this twice in a lifetime, and I don't know how to bring this up seriously without insulting them. Every time we talk about it, they tell me that I never recognize the trying they do, but I do, and I'm vocal about it. I just know that it's not as active as it should be, and that much hasn't changed." I stumbled a little bit there. Sorry about that. "Do you think I should be doing or saying something differently? I really don't know what I should do as a partner, but also as someone deeply affected by this behavior." Xandra.
Hey friends, just wanted to let you know we've decided to put a content warning on this episode because it does deal with some difficult issues, and we are talking about domestic abuse in some points, so just a heads up.
Thank you so much for your question.
Yeah.
This is a big question.
It's a very big question.
I know that you have some strong feelings about it.
We both have some strong
we do.
feelings about this. Full disclosure, I have lived through some domestic violence, abuse issues with anger and stuff like that involved, and certain patterns of behaviors.
Yeah.
So I have firsthand experience with this, and it sounds like you do too. She mentioned that this is the second time in your lifetime that you're encountering someone who has anger problems. I don't want to make assumptions as to what your first encounter were, but you know signs.
Patterns can be recognizable,
Yeah.
I think, when you've experienced that already at some point in your lifetime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to jump really quick into answering the question of, is there anything you can be doing differently? No. This is not... And you probably do, again, I don't want to kind of come across like you don't know the situation. There's really not much more you can do in this situation, which is you've brought the concerning behavior and pattern of behavior to light with your partner. You've communicated that to them.
It's serious, that it bothers you.
And you've made sure that they understand that it's an issue. It's a serious issue. That's the most important thing you can do here.
Yeah.
The rest is on them. It's entirely their responsibility to get this sorted. And part of... Sorry, do you want to jump in? I'm going to kind of go off.
Sure, I can. I mean, I was just going to add to what you were saying, which is that outside of the concept of anger, outside of the concept of dealing with domestic abuse or anything like that, the question of how do I get my partner to do X or change X, you really can't get someone to do something that you want them to do.
It doesn't matter how you ask them.
It doesn't matter how you ask them, and that really is annoying as a partner or bothersome. No, I'm just saying, you can't make someone do something that they don't want to do or, will do on their own. If something is bothering you, either you change or they change, and you can't make them change. And that's just a general rule. Obviously, when it comes to stuff like anger issues, it's a much more serious thing, but you really can't change someone. They can only choose to change themselves. And like they were talking about that they've brought it up a couple times and it either hasn't been taken seriously or it's been met with the fact that they're trying to. I mean, at the end of the day, if they want to do it, they're going to.
Yeah.
If they don't want to do it, they're not.
One thing, sorry.
No, go ahead.
One thing
please.
that's vague here is kind of what would you like to see them be doing? And obviously changing their behavior is the biggest one. Yeah. Do you want them in anger management? Do you want them in therapy? Do you want to do couples therapy?
Yeah.
Have you given them a tangible... and this isn't something like where I don't think you have to do it. I think at this point there's other steps, but to other people who might be watching, that's something to have when you're kind of talking about behavior with a partner that needs to change. Giving concrete goals and steps are really important. Now, if a partner hears those things and then doesn't do those things, get out.
Get out.
But if they do those things and then there's still not progress, that's a bigger, more complex thing.
Yeah.
I want to kind of jump on that really quick. It's never your job to be your partner's therapist.
No!
It's absolutely not. It's not good for you. It's not good for them.
No.
It's any scenario where you're put in that is my advice is get out. It doesn't matter if you love them.
Yeah.
Because most often of the time when you're placed in that dynamic, it is you're put there out of love.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that your relationship can't be good in other elements, but you're basically kind of being put in there because, for one reason or another, something was not taken care of and now it's your job. You never should ever be someone's therapist.
No.
I'm kind of stumbling on my words too.
It's okay.
What I will say, what I hear here that is concerning to me, I'm really, really happy that they have never directed their anger towards you. But if someone is doing this, if someone has outbursts, if someone is destructive to
the things
around them, even if it's their things, even if it's not your things. If it's your things, that's even more of a problem.
Yeah.
But if they're destructive to their own things, if they... kick walls, punch walls, are rough with things, that's a real big red flag.
Yeah.
And that's something that does need to be addressed by a professional, because that is literally when someone's doing that, it's, whether they realize it or not, it's a display of aggression to you, even if you're not, even if they're not mad at you or they're not taking it on you. What it's really saying is, this could be you.
Yeah, there's that saying that's like, when someone hits a wall, that's them showing you that they could be doing it to you, but they're choosing not to.
Yeah.
And that's
what it makes you feel.
That's what it makes you feel. Like, you feel, even though it's not happening to you, in that moment, like, how else?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But, even, I'm not going to pretend that I'm, a trained therapist.
Gosh, neither of us are.
I don't have a background in psych or therapy or any relevant fields, but I do have a background as an abuse survivor. And what I can say is that it's a very big red flag. I've not seen too many circumstances in which, when someone's already doing that, it is a serious thing, and they need to understand that that's a really serious thing, and that, they do need to be in a tangible program.
Yeah, especially for this person who's already been through a seemingly similar situation already in their life, that they can recognize signs as being is not okay behavior, and the fact that they voiced that to their partner and that their partner is still doing it, regardless of trying or not trying to... it always is going to be like that person who's got the problematic behavior that is going to feel like they are trying, and the person...
And they may be.
And they may be trying, and to the person who it's kind of happening to, the fact that it's happening at all feels like they're not trying.
And I think that's the biggest thing, and it's okay for you to understand this, is they very well could be trying to their full capacity.
Totally.
But contextualizing that doesn't make it okay. Just because they're saying they're trying hard, which I'm not, and again... They could be completely honest. They could be doing their damnedest to make this right.
Yeah.
At the end of the road, it needs to be about what you're okay with, and you don't need to make that compromise.
No.
You don't need to contextualize it. And I will say, when you're in these dynamics, you will do backflips to contextualize things.
Yeah.
This is okay because of this, and this.
Yeah.
You know, and you will, because that's how you stay in them.
That's how you survive in it.
That's how you survive.
Yeah.
And context, just because you can contextualize a behavior, just because you can understand a behavior, does not excuse the behavior.
Totally.
And does not make the behavior any less dangerous. And reading this, I do not know you, I do not know your partner, and I think your partner very well could be a very nice person. I'm not, like, this is not me dunking on your partner, and it's not me dunking on you.
No.
I think that as long as this behavior continues, I think that there is a danger present for you or for them. Mm-hmm. There's present danger, and that needs to be taken care of professionally. And if that's not going to be addressed, or it has been attempted and the behavior's not changed, I do recommend you distancing yourself. I mean, personally, when I read this, I recommend you distancing yourself immediately.
Yeah, that's where you're at in your life.
Which is well, for me, if I have a zero tolerance policy for these things.
Me too.
So that's, I know it's a strong response.
No, I mean,
but
that's how you feel about it. And I mean, I feel pretty similarly. I've been there in your life while these things were happening, but it wasn't happening to me. Mm-hmm. And I don't have that experience, but I think that through being your partner and through being a part of your life, I've learned through you, and that I also have a zero tolerance policy for this as well. And
also friends, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just me.
Friends,
we all have a friend. No. You have a friend. Everyone has a friend who has... I was going to say just a boyfriend. There's a whole discussion about toxic masculinity and about how this is a problem.
We don't know the gender of this.
But the gender is irrelevant.
Yeah, no.
Gender is irrelevant. What is relevant is if everyone has a partner who maybe throws a game controller at things, who maybe hits walls, who maybe, speeds up and drives aggressively and scary while they're in the car with them. Yeah. I don't know anyone in my life who doesn't know someone who has a story like that.
Yeah. And
it's important that the behavior is taken seriously, and just because we all know it and see it doesn't mean that it, we kind of brush it under the rug.
For sure.
But yeah, I really appreciate you reaching out and kind of asking that question, because it's complex. Again, I don't know the situation, but what I do know is, like, hard stop.
Yeah.
Distance yourself. What I will say is, like, this is something I'm struggling with my own life and my own therapy, is when you survive abuse, one way or another, it leaves scars and imprints on you and impacts your behavior. Right. It impacts how you treat others, and it impacts, like you said, what you're willing to accept and contextualize. And if this is already familiar ground for you, you very well may already be in therapy. I recommend, again, like I said, even someone who's had, like, nothing happen in their life, I wish therapy was more accessible, because I think therapy is beneficial to everyone. I think especially if you have lived in your life having to navigate
other people's anger and vitriol,
it's important to explore that, because it pops up in ways in your life that will astonish you.
Yeah. And you don't know that you're repeating patterns in your life until
absolutely
you realize them, and then you're just like, oh my god, this has memories and, like, tracings of this other thing in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I want to be clear, this has nothing to do with this relationship.
No.
I'm sticking to my guns. You don't have to change a thing in this relationship. You've not done anything wrong here.
Yeah.
Like, we're literally just saying this out of concern for, like, anyone who's experienced these things. If you have the resources, I know it's, like, a big thing, especially if you live in the States. It is a great privilege to pursue therapy.
Yeah.
If you can, absolutely please do.
Do you feel like couples therapy is something that's an idea for this couple?
I don't know. Okay. I feel like
I know that you personally are already, like,
well, no, like, I don't want to, I feel like to say that would be dangerous, in that it would feel like me subscribing something.
I see.
Or prescribing is what I meant to say.
Subscribing?
Like, comment, subscribe.
Oh, God.
And I don't want to do that, because all I know in this situation, and all I can say with certainty, is that it is a red flag, it is dangerous, and you need to, only the individual who wrote this letter can really know what the situation is, and they need to be honest with themselves, and they need to be honest about, maybe, I think, like, the answer could be giving them, like, I hate it because it's kind of like an ultimatum, but the ultimatum might just be, you need to be in therapy, you need to be in anger management, or maybe we want to be in therapy together, and this needs to be something that is tangible. And you need to maybe have a zero tolerance policy for this. I don't think there's anything shameful in having zero tolerance policies for destructive, negative behavior.
No.
Because at the end of the day, it hurts you. This causes you pain, it causes you anxiety. I don't know what it triggers for you, but, like, it's not okay. And just because it's not directed at you doesn't make it okay.
Oh my gosh, no.
Because it's still hurting you.
Yeah.
Like, it could be completely other shit. But, like, I don't know. Every woman I know, and I don't want to keep bringing gender into this, but just because of dynamics, every woman in my life, every person in my life who has, and actually it's not only women, I know plenty of men who have been in these dynamics too. It just mostly tends to be women. But I always hear the same thing, and like when you look into support groups and stuff, it's kind of the same thing as everyone's like, well, I was never the recipient of the anger.
Yeah.
I always saw it, and it was never me.
Right.
And then it is. And it's real, it's that switch, it's not as guarded as you think it is in someone's brain to kind of switch it off of, the phone getting thrown, or the wall getting hit.
Right.
Or me getting hit.
Right.
And, like, I think we should put a big ol' content warning on this episode.
There will be.
Because
there definitely will be.
It's a heavy one.
Yeah.
But I thought it was an important question.
Yeah, when we were reading through the questions, I was like, this is kind of a heavier one, but I think it's worth talking about. And it's okay to talk about heavy stuff, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And, like, also I think it's important, too, to have I just have to say, is, like, conflict is not abuse. There are healthy conflicts.
Yeah.
There are... anger itself is not unhealthy.
No.
Anger is an emotion that everyone feels, and there are healthy ways to have it. I don't want it to be, like, this thing of, like...
People can't be angry or else it's abusive. Yeah,
no, absolutely not.
No.
And, like... Because I feel like, again, abusive is a word that gets thrown around a lot online. And sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, for good reason, But, like... there are certain behaviors that are dangerous behaviors, and those are the behaviors that are being described in this letter. So that's why we're kind of
talking about
them. But again, anger shows up in a lot of different ways, and again, anger is not inherently
bad. But the expression of anger
through destruction or And
it's funny, there are healthy ways to be destructive if that's what you need to do.
There are,
Like, if you need to go to a field and run around and, like, until you're... Like,
play a sport. Maybe they need to, like, play a sport.
Or something.
It sounds like they need to play a sport.
There are healthy
tell them
ways.
to take a run. Take a run to the nearest therapist.
Well... There's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is obviously, like, we're not qualified therapists or anything.
We're strangers on the internet.
Frankly.
Who
care about you. And want you to be in a safe place and a healthy place. And I think that just the act of sending this message, to me, signifies that this person may realize that it's an issue that is bigger than just a run-of-the-mill conflict.
I agree.
I
agree. And again, I'm not saying this that your partner is abusive.
No.
Because, like, again, it's just I really want to push that out there because of how important this language is, but it's just there's some problems here. There's some serious problems here, and you never. And this goes to the question asker. This goes to everyone watching. You never feel like you have to contextualize. Never feel like you have to be the therapist.
Right, like they did this because of this, so it's okay, and
If something doesn't feel right to you, it can be just that simple.
And the other thing is, it's like, if I've outside of the context of this, if I voice that this is a problem and it's this serious and it's this bothersome to me
and it's not changing,
and it's not changing, that's its own thing. Even separated from the anger issues, it's like, why am I not being safeguarded and taken seriously by this person, my person?
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's its own thing, outside of the fact that the behavior that's a problem is affecting you on a, like, metaphysical level.
Yeah. That again, like you just said, applies to every behavior. It applies to, like, friendships.
Washing the dishes.
Well, yeah, but like even just little things of like, oh, could you do this for me, or could you not do this for me?
Right.
I don't know. It's when you communicate needs
over and over and over
again, and they're not being heard is an issue.
Yeah.
So that's that in itself, even if it's like something as simple as cleaning the dishes.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is way more complex than that.
But that's all we wrote.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And like, again, I have like, I'm stumbling again.
It's okay.
I have nothing but like best wishes and optimism for both you and your partner.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that you're both gonna continue to be healthy and happy and grow. And again, I'm not trying to paint this individual as like a monster, because they're not. They're a person, and they're a person who's clearly struggling. And, you know, hopefully everyone...
But however,
the
again, question writer needs to, at the baseline of everything, protect themselves and their own personal safety and their own mental safety.
And that's the big thing is people don't have to be... We like to get very black and white of, is this person a bad person or a good person?
Yeah.
It's just, at the end of the day, this is an unhealthy dynamic for you, and regardless of the context, that's true. So know that and do what you can with it.
Yep.
So that's that.
Well,
let's order a pizza. Let's order a pizza.
We'll order pizza.
Let's order a pizza.
Thank you for your questions, Andra. We really appreciate it. If you have a question that you would like answered, you can send us an email right here. Mm-hmm. This is our email address. We love you all so much, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.